Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my Gallery Grunge candle box. That's a bit of a mouthful. It's a cute little box with a bit of a strange pattern going on around the top and the bottom. When I actually put it together, I realised that it's the tailored tag punch, but I haven't actually used that, but you probably could actually, as opposed to measuring these sides, but I have measured them, and it's just one of the normal boxes with the lid that comes off. I'm not going to fight to get that one out. It's got a cute little tea light candle inside. I used my bone folder. I bet people are shouting at me now saying don't use your bone folder. It's fine, it's fine. But it's a little candle in a tin. It smells divine. Oh, it smells of coconut. Isn't that amazing? Love coconut. So it's got this little candle inside, as you can see. Just sits nicely in there. And then this little lid just slides on the top and then goes underneath your little sentiment there. Gallery Grunge is a stamp that's not been used very much, or I haven't used it very much, and so I thought I'd get it out and have a little play with it. So I've used this pattern for this one. So as you can see, I've just stamped what would be the base and the lid and left the middle bit plain. I really like it. I think it's quite cute. So let me show you how I made it. So to start off with then, you need 3 pieces of cardstock. So you need 2 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, which is 10.5 by 10.5 centimetres. And then you need a third piece that is 9.5 by 2.5 centimetres, and that's 24 by 6.5 centimetres. So the first thing we're going to do with our 2 squares is we're going to stamp them. Now I'm going to use the gorgeous new Seaside Spray. Gorgeous colour, slightly darker than I thought when I first stamped with it, but I just think it's lovely. And as you can see, I'm using a different pattern on the Gallery Grunge. I'm actually having problems saying that today. But yeah, I'm just randomly stamping here and there, change slight direction of the stamp. And that is the Seaside Spray. So I don't know if it is any darker actually. Maybe I was just not, I don't know what I was expecting, but anyway. So I've stamped up both of those. Now I am going to have to use my trimmer for this, and I do apologise that I know this is retiring, but it's just quicker and easier for me on this one. So I'm going to just simply score at 1 inch on all 4 sides, which obviously is 2.5 centimetres. So I'm just doing that on all 4 sides on both pieces. Just, as I say, just whiz around all 4 sides. Get that. There we go. And then I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines. Both of them, and as we do with all of our little boxes and lids, we're going to cut the corners, all 4 corners, into little tabs. So just simply cut straight down the side of one and then cut our wedges. And this is the easy bit. And Gallery Grunge is being carried over into the new annual catalogue. So if you want to buy it now, you won't be wasting any money because it will be there for another 12 months. Okay, so once we've cut our corners into tabs, we then need to get our scoring tool and a ruler. And on the 4 sides, I do apologise, I've got a really itchy nose all of a sudden. On all of our 4 straight sides here, we need to find the centre. Okay, so for mine, it's going to be 1 1/8 of an inch. Centimetres is slightly more awkward. I've gone with 2.6 2.6, 2.7. As I said, if you want to use the tailored tag punch, then you might actually find that a bit easier. Just make sure that you get the same distance on all 4 sides. So I've marked at 1 1/8 of an inch. I'm then going to mark a line, score a small line, 1/2 inch down, which is about 1.3 centimetres. And then from the bottom of that score line, I'm just going diagonally up to the corners. Okay, and we're going to repeat that on all 4 sides. So mark 1.8, mark 1/2 inch down, and then score out to the corners. And just keep repeating that. And you need to do this for both pieces, so the base and the lid. So again, score there, score across to the corner, and the last one just there, 1/2 inch down, and then across to either corner. Okay, so once you've done that, hopefully you can see you have this V shape, and then you're simply going to cut along those diagonal score lines to create your V on the sides. And again, do that on all 4 sides. So, as I say, we're just going around. Oh crumbs, my nose, I'm so sorry. I do have hay fever, and I have just been outside talking to my friend, so that's probably why it's now playing up. Most annoying. Okay, so once you've done that, do exactly the same for the second one. You'll be pleased to know, here's one I did earlier. So you have then 2 pieces that look the same. And then what we need to do is add, oh crikey me, add some adhesive. So I'm going back in with the wet glue, and what you want to do is have your tabs facing outwards, okay, as opposed to this one that's top to bottom. Have them facing outwards. Where the score line is, okay, you want to add adhesive in like a triangle in that corner. Okay, so down and across. And I'll show you why in just a moment. Okay. So it's in an angle on all the 4 corners, because when you tuck this in, we need to do some trimming. And if you put glue all over there as well, it starts to become a bit of a mess. So back in with my little mini pegs, just pop these sides on, make sure it's straight, and then back in with these 2 as well. Sort that one out. And for some reason, once you have one side pegged, the other side will happily stay without clips. I don't get it, but that's just the way it is. And then we're going to do exactly the same again. So corners across, and then we're going back in again with some clips, holding it in place. Oops. Just pop those ones on. I quite like this pattern actually. I like this one a bit more than the other one. Okay, so while they're still drying, and pop them to one side, you need to bring back your long piece. So as I said, this is 9.5 by 2.5, which is 24 by 6.5 centimetres. Then we need to score on the long side only, and we're scoring at 2, 3/16 of an inch, 4 3/8 of an inch, 6 9/16 of an inch, and 8 3/4 of an inch. Now if I just go back one again, that 6 9/16, it actually works. Let me zoom in, get focused. You see the tiny little mark at the top there, so you've got the 6.5 full line, and then the one next to it, that is your 9/16. It just worked out perfectly, which I was quite impressed with when I did it. And so in centimetres you'll be scoring at 5.5, 11.1, 16.7 and 22.2. They'll all be on my blog, and hopefully I'll have written them correctly this time. I seem to have been having some issues recently of typing incorrect measurements up, but I promise you I will try and pop them on the blog correctly. Okay, so once we've done all of that, we're going to pop some adhesive on the very thinnest part, and you'll notice that I've not cut wedges out of the edges. Poet didn't know it. The reason I've not done that, I'll show you in just a moment, when I've just made sure this is lined up. This is for some reason not lining up properly. Yeah, the reason I've not done it is because I think when you take the lid off, your eyes are drawn to the candle, but if you cut a wedge in there, I don't know if you can see because it's so bright, but if you cut a wedge in there, I think it just looks more obvious, whereas that flush line there, you just have this seam that, to be fair, a lot of people won't even look at. That's the way I thought of it anyway. So I've done this, that's glued. So let's go back to the first one we did, and we may as well make this the base now. Back in with my paper snips, and I'm literally cutting along that line that we cut earlier. Both sides. There we go. So you've instantly then got your shape, and then exactly the same with the other one. Just cut those angles off, and now you see why we didn't add a ton of glue, because it would have just been all over the place, and then you would have got it all over your scissors, and yeah, we don't want glue on scissors. No, no, no. Okay, so that's those bits cut, both exactly the same. It's just up to you now which one you choose to have the lid or the base. I'm just going to go with this one, and I'm just simply going to add some wet glue, just a small amount, just on the inside of there. Okay, so it is literally just a small amount, and then I'm just going to put this straight in to there, and then my candle is going to go in and act as a little bit of resistance. This one seems to be a little bit bigger for some reason, don't know why. And I'm just simply, as I'm sure you can see from my fingers, I'm holding all four edges, just pressing them against the box, the middle part, just a few seconds, just to hold that glue in place. I mean, they may not want to stick, some of them, but most of them will. And then obviously you just pop your lid on the top. And now all you need to do is to decorate it. So I've used one of the beautiful stitched shapes. This is the second largest, and I'm using Stitched All Around. Beautiful stamp. And I'm back in with my Seaside Spray, and I've got the lovely thank you stamp. Now the test is getting it central, so excuse me if my head gets in. Oops. not too bad. I'll just close this up. And then a couple of dimensionals on the back. And then a couple of rhinestone jewels on the bottom just here. Oops. And then take the backing off. Off the dimensionals. Don't stick to my grid paper. And then you're just simply popping it on the centre. And there are your, actually I was going to say that one looks bigger, but it isn't, it's the same size. There is your beautiful Gallery Grunge candle box with fancy sides. I hope you like them, hope it's given you some inspiration. Thank you for watching my video, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Bye!